Good morning and thank you very much for joining us. I am Yori Folai. Let's touch base with Benue State. Quite a bit has been happening, and this is against the backdrop of the crisis, so to speak, the water crisis that happened a short while back. And so now it looks like Benue State is in the news again because of its State House of Assembly. The speaker there has stepped aside. He stepped down, talking about Mr. Andona, I believe the name is. We also saw it given as as Hyacinth, but that's also the name of the governor. But we're talking here about Andona Dajo, the Benue State Assembly, who is now a suspended speaker. And well, he went back to his place as an assemblyman, but then he's been suspended. He's been suspended by the new regime within the State House of Assembly. So, but all of that is to one side. There are other very important things happening. There's still the matter of governance, there's the matter of security, and we have a commentator on public affairs, APC chieftain, Comrade Daniel Onje. He's also a political affairs analyst, and he is in our Abuja studio. A fine morning to you, Comrade Onje.
Good morning, Uncle Yori.
Good morning, sir. Thank you very much. What's the scenario in Benue State? I'd like to believe that, well, after the turmoil, is calm and peace returning?
Well, Benue has seen storms of political crisis, and the good thing is that storm does not last forever.
That's right.
What matters to us, the people of Benue State now, is to secure our state, deepen governance, and also put the state on a firm path of development. That is what is before Benue State right now, having come out of the various political crises that can be described as a storm.
Yes.
Meanwhile, as it is, the issue at the State House of Assembly, the episode of the State House of Assembly is just a series in the political storm that bedeviled Benue State. So right now we are glad that all of these crises seem to have come to an end or come to a stop.
Okay.
With the new course that the State House of Assembly has charted.
The assemblymen have quickly moved in and have selected a new helmsman, and this is, you know, against the backdrop of there being a vacancy now. But I don't know what's going on, because it's a very, very serious indictment when he was accused of, that is the suspended Andona Dajo, accused of masterminding or trying to mastermind the impeachment of the governor. Now, you use impeachment and the governor in the same sentence and relate it to a sitting House of Assembly. It seems to indicate that there is some form of discontent, even though I hasten to add that reports that are out there is that the former speaker has spoken that all of this is political. There is no such thing. He was among those who, you know, gave a vote of confidence to Governor Hyacinth Alia. So it's difficult for those who are far away to understand what exactly is happening. Why is there a political crisis
Well, one will wonder why someone in the high office or position of the Speaker of the State Assembly will want to impeach or orchestrate the impeachment of a performing governor.
Which he denied.
While, it's a good thing that he denied, because the reasons he adduced for his resignation, he voluntarily resigned.
That's right.
In a handwritten letter. And the reasons he adduced was in the interest of the state.
Yeah.
He wishes to resign. So if he had resigned in the interest of the state, it means his continued stay in the office will be against the interest of the state. So he has done that, according to him, in good faith, in the interest of the state. So I see no reason why somebody should plot the removal or the impeachment of a governor who is popular amongst his people and who is also performing up to the expectations of his people. So perhaps there could be an underlining political tune behind his resignation, but that is best understood by members of the State House of Assembly.
The other curiosity is that he has borne the brunt of this accusation, but if you're going to impeach, just talking about the concept, it's not a one-man affair. And how come nobody else is being mentioned? Nobody else has been sanctioned. There seems to be a sort of a quiet regarding if there's anything to the charge, accomplices or suspected accomplices. So it's like the plot thickens, and one is wondering what is the political atmosphere like in Benue?
Well, the political atmosphere is calm, and then just like you also rightly observed, no other member of the House of Assembly has been disciplined or meted out with any punitive measure.
Yes.
For the attempted or the supposedly attempted impeachment plot. And that is why I'm saying that I'm not sure there will have been such a plan on ground, because the governor is living up to expectations. So what reasons are they going to advance to the Benue people, for impeaching a performing governor? So basically, Benue is calm, and then the citizens are forward-looking to continued good governance, continued or improved security, creation of more jobs, and then advancement of the Benue infrastructure to support the growth of the growth and development of Benue State. Well, the governor has shown resilience by rising above political pettiness. He has withered the storm of political crisis in Benue, regardless or irrespective of the political dispute. He has continued with governance and has kept faith with his promises to the people.
Yeah.
In the areas of infrastructural advancement, in the area of security, in the area of healthcare delivery, in the area of education, agriculture, and all of it, even in water supply. He has been able to live up to his promises. Civil servants and retirees are celebrating all over in Benue State because they get their salaries even before the month end, and those who retire also get their pensions and gratuity. So Benue had been properly set on the path of progress and development. And Governor Hysen Alia has indeed lived up to his campaign promises. I think all we need to do in Benue now is to continue to give him the support, even beyond 2027. Usually, I'm not one person who wants to join the bandwagon of campaigning for any political office holder when he's still, within his first term. But there are cases where it becomes very, very necessary to prepare the minds of people and remind them that the benefit they enjoy right now can only continue when such a man who is public-spirited, that has, risen up to the occasion of addressing the societal ills and also advancing their cause, continues in office. And that is why I also want to seize the opportunity to call on Benue people to continue to remain steadfast, keep faith with the governor, and support Governor Hysen Alia beyond 2027 so that he can completely bring Benue out of the woods. Aside from the tenure of Apreaku, no other administration in Benue State had witnessed the scale of development we are witnessing in Benue State today. The people will need to be patient with the governor because there's something that is referred to as the time lag in economics or policy formulation, which is the period from the conception or initiation of the policy and to the execution point. A lot is going on in Benue, and the citizens can rest assured that before the end of Father Hysen Alia's administration, so many projects, infrastructural projects, will be commissioned. And of course, there are lots of reforms that are ongoing, and the impact will be fully felt before the end of his first tenure. And he has done all of these things without borrowing.
Okay.
Without, yeah.
Okay. Sorry, I was just going to say that we have Garba from Makurdi who has called in, wants to join the program. Good morning to you, Garba. Please go ahead. If you can hear us.
Okay, I can hear you very well, Uncle Yori.
Okay.
Good morning to the gentleman in the studio. You have said it all. Let me be honest with you, Uncle Yori. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you well.
Okay. I lived in Benue State for over 15 years. I'm not from Benue State.
Okay.
But Benue State is my second home. I lived in Benue State for over 15 years. To be honest, to be candid, regardless of what is going on, the current governor of Benue State is a silent achiever. Whatever someone will say, he will say it. He's someone that don't like propaganda, don't like coming to the media and say what he achieved. But he is doing a lot to Benue State. Forget about banditry, skirmish of terrorism, Fulani, whatever. Aside from that, even that one is in human nature. It's not avoidable. It's not only happening in Benue State, and he's doing his best. People are trying to bring this administration down, but they will not succeed. I'm saying this on the fact. There is no governor. I've been in Benue State for 15 years. That is doing what this man is doing. And I pray for this man, someone that I look forward to in federal level. If you can get leaders like him, unifier, he carry everybody along. You find that he's making noise. But his work will attest to him. People like me, I never sympathize with APC. And I support him. A great support him. Sure. If we are alive, I will still vote for him because of what he's doing.
Okay.
I'm urging him to continue what he's doing. And I like one thing with him. You see what is happening in the State Assembly? He never mingled in it. Whatever is happening is their affairs. They try to bring him inside, but it's already said. He never said a word. Whatever is happening there is between them. But if you look at other governors, I'm sorry to say it, they control the State Assembly. They decide, they predict what will happen. But none of that. I salute the courage of this man. I'm urging anybody that is living in Benue State, whether you are indigenous or not indigenous, rise up and support him, either with your prayers, or whatever you feel like you can assist him. Let me tell you one funny thing. It's a man that if you have a suggestion as ordinary someone, if you channel it, wallah, he will listen to you. Yesterday he was at a Wuku roundabout. He met a young man at Benjas. They are trying to do flyover there. Security are trying to drive them away because some of them, they are breaking the concrete to get iron there that they can sell. He said they should allow them. Let them do it. Moreover, this is whether they leave it or they carry it, they have to carry that deposit. And they are even helping the government to remove it from there. And it's very kindly. This is generosity of the leader. It's not someone that will see you, that will try to victimize you. In fact, I'm urging, I'm pleading on everyone.
Well, thank you very much, Garba. I think that last bit was sort of truncated, but we heard enough. We heard your vote of confidence in Governor, Reverend Father Alia of Benue State there. Okay, so, well, Comrade Daniel, you heard that. Now, I was even going to ask that your area of specialization is political affairs analysis. You are not an assemblyman in Benue State. So that comment that Garuba made there, that this apparently speaks to the fact that Governor Alia, he apparently doesn't interfere. He left the assembly to do their work, where he continued to do his work, all of which is the more surprising that the kind of allegations that we're hearing that are being levied, that you know, somebody wanted to, some person or persons wanted to actually impeach him. One just doesn't know why, what is going on. Would you like to speak to this matter that it's surprising to some because he doesn't interfere or intervene in the affairs of the assembly? First of all, do you accept that as a truism?
Well, you see, the governor is no someone, just like the last caller said, that is not interested in propaganda. He doesn't entertain noise on his workstation. The only thing he entertains is results.
Okay.
That is why when people sponsor all kinds of propaganda against him or raise campaign of calumny against him, he remains very, very calm.
Okay. Because
he knows exactly where he's headed and what he's doing. So he doesn't believe in posturing as a strongman in office. What is more concerned is building strong institutions that will support governance in the state even beyond him, that will outlive his tenure. So right from the onset of this state assembly in Benue State, he has given the State House of Assembly the support to be independent. You will recall that there was an attempt to impose a speaker on members of the House of Assembly from the inception of his administration. But he resisted vehemently and provided the atmosphere, the democratic atmosphere, for members of the House of Assembly to elect the leader of their choice, which led to the emergence of the speaker, the former speaker who resigned. He was a very big beneficiary of Governor Hassan Yomen Alia's democratic and well-intended intervention that provided the free space, democratic space for his emergence.
Okay.
So the governor can't be accused of winch-hunting him or being on a vendetta when he actually was the one who provided the platform that brought in the speaker. So and if it's true that the speaker was orchestrating plan to impeach the governor, then that would be an act of ungratefulness because Governor Haiselyomen Alia provided a platform for his emergence in the first place. Yes.
Okay. Reverend Dominic in Alimosho, good morning to you, sir. Thank you for holding on.
Good morning, Chief Yori.
Good morning, sir. Go ahead, please.
Chief Yori, can you hear me? Good morning.
Yes, I can hear you. Good morning, Reverend.
Yes, unfortunately, my light is off, but let me talk to you. I can hear you from the phone.
Excellent.
Can I go on?
Yes, please. Yes, please.
Yori, let's use Benue State Assembly as a case study, as case maybe. Let me. Whenever I hear a state assembly want to impeach a governor and there's uproar, it talks. Let's use democracy as a goosey soup. Let's use democracy as a goosey soup. A goosey soup is not a goosey soup. You have the ingredients of melon or a goosey in it. Impeachment is part of the democratic process. There's a man who was impeached in this nation who lived his life well. Malam Musa in 1979 or 80s. He didn't die because he was impeached. The man stood his ground and did his work, and everyone loves him. So if the government is impeached, so what? Yeah, let me give you an example of how in the world assembly. Nobody talk about them. We say National Assembly are bench warmers. What do we call the state assembly? Who can take up that?
I'm sorry, the line is not the best. It wasn't very clear, but thank you nevertheless, Reverend Dominic, for calling in. So, Comrade Daniel, would you like to speak to, well, Reverend Dominic was sort of going along the lines of when you see a thing like this, you heard it, Did you have any commentary before we go on to other aspects? Because there are other things happening in Benue apart from this crisis. In fact, even it's a non-crisis because the speaker who stepped aside, resigned, whatever you want to say, he's been suspended for 3 months. It was at 6 months, but then the new speaker reviewed it, and it has been noted in all the news outlets, without putting it to a vote, has reviewed it to 3 months. So I don't know what's going on in there. They don't seem to be too angry with each other. But what would be your sort of, commentary on this whole scenario?
Well, in responding quickly to Reverend Dominic, right?
Yes, yes.
He talked about saying nothing wrong in impeaching a governor. Absolutely nothing wrong. Governors have been impeached in this country and the state have moved on. And also, less are misunderstood, or any of us is misunderstood for calling or advocating political dormancy in the assembly. No, that's not what we're advocating. They should also be up and doing with the tax with their legislative tax, which also includes disciplining or recommending punitive measure for executive arm of government. But in a situation where such decisions or actions are ill-motivated, can that be said to be in the overall interest of the citizens of the state? He gave an example which I think was bad for his argument. That of Balarabe Musa, he said he lives his life after that. Yes, because he was a progressive, and he continued with his social and political advocacy in the country, which sustained him and kept him in the political limelight until his death. But wouldn't he have be of greater benefit to the Kaduna State people if you had remained in office? What were the reasons why Balarabe Musa was impeached? Can it be said that he was impeached on well-founded allegations? No. His impeachment was politically motivated, and that is the biggest regret of the Kaduna State government until today, even in his death. Look at the few period that Balarabe Musa spent in office. Look at the achievement, the development, the reforms that he brought to Kaduna State. Has any governor since Balarabe Musa beaten his record? None. Since Balarabe Musa left office. Is it a good thing that such a noble man with good vision for the state was impeached? That was exactly perhaps what the State House of Assembly had to swiftly swing into action to prevent in Benue State. If it is true that that was the intention of the resigned and suspended Speaker of the House of Assembly.
Okay, let me just thank you, Mr. George. I beg your pardon. There's another viewer waiting to come in. I'm so sorry. Please include your comments in the next answer because Mr. George in Ikeja has been waiting to join the program. Good morning, Mr. George. I wonder if I'm going to ask you to continue. Mr. George, good morning. Can you hear us?
Yes, Uncle Yo, can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Please go ahead.
Okay, thank you. Good morning to you and to your guests, Uncle Yori.
Thank you. Good morning.
Uncle Yori, when people are calling or appearing on this program, they should bear in mind that they are not talking to children, that we are also adults from this side of the divide. The fillers on ground in Benue State does not reflect what the first caller was saying and many of the things that the guest is also saying. Okay,
that's Garuba. Garuba who called in.
Meddle into the affairs of the assembly.
Okay.
This is a governor we saw on the day of the election of his speaker. He was in the House of Assembly physically. The governor is not supposed to be there. So how can you say such a governor is not interested on what goes on in the House of Assembly? Now, the speaker that he installed, so to speak, has been accused now of trying to impeach him. Uncle Yori, that speaks volumes. It means that something has gone wrong.
He denied it, though.
Executive wants to
for what it is worth, he denied it.
Legislature, he must manage it to prevent even the thought of wanting to impeach him. There are people in the National Assembly, for example, who would want the president impeached, even though his party has a vast majority of the members. But it depends on how the relationship is being managed between them and the executive.
Okay.
I am seeing tendencies of, what do you call it, high-handedness on the part of the governor. If, let us take it for granted, Uncle Yori, that he actually attempted to impeach him. If you could succeed in foiling the impeachment, that should be all. Must you now say he can no longer sit with the assembly and then you remove him?
Well, you think this is at the instance of the governor?
The people of Benue State.
Okay.
His constituency will no longer be represented just because the governor does not want him there. I'm sorry, I cannot associate with such a thing.
Okay.
The governor, if he has high-handedness, let him use the high-handedness to address the security situation in Benue State.
Okay.
Not with the assembly.
All right.
But if somebody has...
thank you very much, Mr. George. Comrade Daniel Onje. Yes, Comrade, yes, you heard that.
Mr. George is entitled to his opinion. Well, I haven't seen any law in Nigeria that says that the executive arm of government cannot attend or witness any session or plenary of the Assembly or National Assembly. I haven't seen any section of that constitution. So if at all the governor was present at any time at the assembly. The presence is not an interference. He failed to mention that while the proceeding was ongoing, that the governor interjected or interrupted, said one or two things that changed the course of decision or action in the House. He failed to say that. So I refuse to agree with him that the governor interfered. Well, what some of two of the callers I've seen so far failed to understand is that the fact that the system of checks and balances are well pronounced and spelled out in the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria does not mean that the relationship between the executives and the legislature should be characterized by that of cat and dog. Because when there is political dispute crisis between these two arms of government, and even including the third arm of government, it causes distraction from core governance, it weakens institutions of governance, it erodes public trust in governance, and then it also creates for security vulnerability. Because these bandits and insurgents, they capitalize on the vacuum that are created through these political disputes in the state and also advance their nefarious activities. It also slows down economic activities and costs the government a huge waste. It also delays infrastructural development and advancement. So nobody or no government will thrive in a situation of political crisis or disputes and insecurity. And of course, it also erodes the trust and confidence of investors in such a state. But regardless of all these things that attended the administration of Governor Hassan Yomen Aliya from the beginning of his administration, like I said before, sorry, I need water.
Shile is on the line from Port Harcourt. Shile, good morning. Oh, I'm sorry. Comrade Daniel, he has to get comfortable. Maybe his mic can be killed while
Uncle Yori?
Yeah, is that Shile?
Uncle Yori?
Yes, sir. Is that Comrade? Is that Comrade Daniel or Shile who has called in from Port Harcourt?
Uncle Yori, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Who?
Yes, your friend from Port Harcourt.
Okay. Please go ahead now. Go ahead with your contribution from Port Harcourt.
Chile talking from Port Harcourt.
Okay, that's clear now. Go ahead, please.
Yes.
Okay. Please go ahead now. Go ahead with your contribution from Port Harcourt.
Yes. Okay.
Go ahead, Shile. I believe that there is some delay. Go ahead.
You see what? What I want to tell you. Talking about the Benue. Yes.
There is some delay.
Okay, thank you. Yeah. You see, what is happening in Benue? All of us are hearing what is happening in Benue. The governor must be blamed. Because this security problem in Benue, killing people every day. And the governor don't want to do something about it. What is happening there? You don't know why you don't want to do something. It is human beings that they are slaughtering in Benue every day. And the president have done something. The money is given them now is big. The governors are having big money. This president is giving them a lot of money to carry out any problem that they're having in their state. To me, I feel that the governor is not doing enough. he needs to wake up. Not going to House of Assembly to supervise what is happening in House of Assembly. That is not the best. That killing in Benue is what all of us are after. So the governor should wake up.
Okay. All right then. Well, thank you very much. Comrade Daniel, well, you heard that perspective. I hope you're better. Can you speak now?
I'm better, and I rushed into the studio without taking my cough syrup. The weather is not friendly at all.
Good to hear, good to hear. But you just heard that contribution that we got from Port Harcourt there. Somebody who takes a different view that the governor could do a lot more than is being done at the moment in terms of trying to address security. And it actually presages a question I was going to ask you about what are the efforts against the backdrop of the Yelwata crisis towards security and securing the state.
Well, I think the caller from Port Harcourt has not been following developments in Benue State since the visit of Mr. President after the Yelwata killings. There have been a remarkable improvement in the security situation in Benue State. After Mr. President, who is the commander-in-chief, gave a marching order to the security agencies and their chiefs, there have been a massive crackdown on the bandits and insurgents in Benue State, and they appear to have flown and to the fringes of Benue State, although much is left to be done, and the security agencies must not rest on their oars. They must continue to the crackdown until the insurgents, the bandits, the kidnappers are finally disseminated from the map of Benue State. It is totally incorrect to say the governor is not doing enough. The governor has done enough in the area of security. He has provided the needed logistics in terms of vehicles, in terms of movement logistics to tackle and address the issue of insecurity in the state. And like as seen by everyone, or can be attested to by everyone, there had been an appreciable improvement in the security situation in Benue. And also, let's not forget that at a point, we were crying out against undue politically motivated insecurity in the state. And we have been proven right, and totally right for that matter. After the president intervened and held meeting with the major political players in the state, and also at the same time got the traditional rulers involved, there has been a meeting point among stakeholders, and also by closing their ranks, the vacuum that allowed for this insecurity to thrive had been closed. So we cannot say that insecurity has totally been eliminated from Benue State, but to an appreciable level and extent, the governor has been very, very committed, and there has been improvement in the security situation in Benue State. Okay. The public trust and confidence have been restored in the government and governance. And indeed, the Benue citizens know that the governor is doing very well, doing his best to address the situation of insecurity in the state. Okay. There are places where, of course, are the hotbeds or sanctuary for these insurgents. And those places have been located in recent times. like some trade and businesses, going on, even though it is of great economic benefit to the people of the states, but the devastating and ravaging effect of the existence of such businesses far outweighs the benefit. And that is why recently we have called on the governor of the state to shut down such businesses in the interests of security and the protection of life and property. And example of such
businesses?
Example of such businesses are like the trailer parks.
Okay.
The trailer parks have become safe havens for bandits, insurgents, and kidnappers. In fact, one of the trailer parks, particularly a very notorious one in Ogbadigbo local government of Benue State, the Adegu Park, was said to have been a ground for the collection of ransom by kidnappers. There have been collection of ransom by kidnappers, and the security agencies cannot deny this fact. Such a park ought to have been shut down by the state government, regardless of its economic benefit. And there have been heightened insecurity at Orokam, a district in Ogbadigbo, where the trailer park is resided. That is where arms and ammunition are either hidden or exchanged, and it has also become the den of kidnappers with heightened illicit drug peddling activities going on in that place there.
Okay.
The security agencies also cannot deny the fact of not knowing about the existence of these things that I'm mentioning. And of course, even made worse is the level of prostitution that is going on there, providing social support for the criminals who retire to the prostitute after all their illicit and nefarious activities around the state. That is where they retire to, and several other trailer parks. So I think the government and security agencies should take a proactive step and measure to ensure that such businesses are shut down, even if it is for the time being, so that the crackdown on these criminals can be successfully completed. Before,
I beg your pardon. You see, because we're almost out of town. Yeah. I beg your pardon. Sorry, thank you very much. We're almost out of time, but I wanted to bring up that Governor Alia has resubmitted letters to the Speaker, for the appointment of commissioners designate that were rejected by the last Assembly administration. And I think we're talking here about two very important, two highly, skilled people or highly qualified people. The governor has resubmitted, and I think they have now been approved. So this will further help governance, perhaps.
Yes, the choice of who works in the cabinet with an executive office holder, like in the status of a governor, of a president, is solely the prerogative of the occupants of the office.
That's right.
He is the one to work with the people. If he has chosen those he feels have the requisite capacity and
he should be allowed to have
ability.
Them. But only God knows why the previous administration rejected.
So in the first place,
the previous administration rejected those, but now this administration has approved.
It was said that the rejection of the nominees earlier was politically motivated. Perhaps that was why the governor had to resubmit. If there be any cogent reasons why they shouldn't be screened and cleared, I'm sure the governor, will have withdrawn their names or not resubmit the names again. We hear people saying things about the nominees and all of it.
That is, I read here Dr. Timothy Onguga and James Duen,
Yeah, but there hadn't been any commission of inquiry or any court of competent jurisdiction that has found any of those people wanting. So those who have raised allegations against these people have the opportunity to do a formal petition against anyone they feel is not worthy of holding public office.
Well, comrade, we have run out of time. I'm so sorry we have run out of time because I know you are very forthcoming on development issues in Benue State. But I do want to thank you for your time, for coming on this morning and airing the fact that in Benue, things are definitely on the rise. Things are getting better, and we hope that governance will continue, good governance will continue without too many more hiccups. Thank you very much for coming on our program today. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Uncle Yori.
Indeed. So that's our program. Do please join us, not tomorrow, but on Monday for a fresh edition. I am Yori Folarin. Bye-bye for now. Do have a great weekend.